Now at 5, bracing for the surge, hospitals try to prepare for what could be a post-Thanksgiving nightmare. But are healthcare workers already in over their heads? Local restaurants need your help. They're committed to keeping you staying safe. If you want to dine out this month, I'll tell you what they want you to bring to the table. The phrase we'd all love to hear, you get a car. Well, actually, that happened to one heroic healthcare worker, and we were there for the big surprise.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 5, streaming now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us here at 5 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins. We begin tonight with the latest on the coronavirus and the toll it's taking on central Indiana. Many hospitals are now preparing for another surge, even as healthcare workers are already feeling the strain. We could start seeing the impacts of Thanksgiving any day now. Doctors say those who were infected over the holiday could start showing symptoms anywhere from 7 to 14 days later. Several hospitals have already hit capacity at times, and hospitals like Franciscan are ready to put extra measures in place if needed, such as canceling elective procedures or sending people home sooner than they would otherwise with home monitoring to help free up space.
Right now, I think most of the hospitals locally are hanging in there with our sort of normal operating approach and supplies. But if the demand gets too much greater, we'll have to start putting some of those contingency plans in place.
WRTV's Megan Sanctorum will have much more on this story tonight at 6, including reaction from a family who almost lost their loved one to COVID-19. The Indiana State Department of Health reports 8,003 new coronavirus cases. 84 more Hoosiers died with COVID-19, bringing the total number of deaths to 5,832. Since March, more than 367,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. More than 4.4 million tests have been administered in Indiana. When President-elect Joe Biden officially takes office next month, one of his first orders of business, asking Americans to do one simple thing.
On the first day I'm inaugurated, to say I'm going to ask the public for 100 days to mask.
And as the nation grapples with the growing coronavirus surge, Biden says he's asking Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's leading infectious disease expert, to stay on board in his current capacity, but to also become Biden's chief medical advisor on COVID-19. It is a sharp shift from the Trump administration's approach to the coronavirus pandemic. With little federal leadership in combating the virus, leaving states to fend for themselves, and often seen holding large events, which left dozens in the administration, including the president, contracting the virus. Even at a White House party just this week, few were seen wearing masks, and there appeared to be little social distancing. The White House is now defending the decision.
Yeah, so, if you can loot businesses, burn down buildings, engage in protest, you can also go to a Christmas party.
Medical experts fear the worst of the virus may still be yet to come. There have been more than 210,000 new COVID-19 infections and at least 2,800 Americans dead in just the past 24 hours. Promising vaccines by Moderna and Pfizer are being evaluated for emergency use and, if approved, could be available in weeks. And President-elect Biden is looking to build trust and confidence by joining 3 former presidents, Clinton, Bush, and Obama, to get vaccinated on camera before the American people. The 2020 holiday season is a daily challenge for local restaurants due to the pandemic. With no holiday parties or holiday catering and foot traffic declining, the Indiana Restaurant and Lodging Association is launching a new campaign hoping to help restaurants survive. Dine Safe December is aiming to re-educate customers on the Hoosier Hospitality Promise. It's a commitment to safety and a message from restaurant employees to their customers that says, "We're doing our part to keep you safe." Hundreds of businesses from both the hospitality and restaurant industry have been committed to the Hoosier Hospitality Promise since launching in April. The president and CEO of the Indiana Restaurant and Lodging Association says whether it's supporting restaurants through carry-out, curbside pickup, delivery, or dining in, they all need your support.
During December, we usually are packed, and we've had over 8 months now of either straight out closures or severe restrictions in terms of what we can do as a business. So even if you see a restaurant that's full, it's because 50% of our tables are off the floor. People are not going out late in the evenings. We don't see that type of business. In September, we released data looking forward to the next 6 months. 41% of Indiana's restaurants did not expect to survive the next 6 months. We're in the midst of that right now. It's actually gotten worse.
At visitindiana.com/promise, you can find all of the businesses committed to the Hoosier Hospitality Promise. It also calls on customers to do their part by wearing masks, social distancing, and staying home if you don't feel well. Time for the WRTV Storm Team forecast. Alyssa Donovan is in for Kevin Gregory tonight, and we are coming off a beautiful and a warmer day today.
That's right, Mark. It was a great day. Temperatures were just a little bit above average. We were almost at 50 degrees today for our daytime high, 49 here in Indianapolis. Right now, we are starting to see some of those winds calm down. You might have noticed a little bit of a breeze this afternoon out of the southwest. Right now, we're at about 10 miles per hour. We're going to continue to see those winds die down, and we're also going to see them shift to become northerly winds. What does that mean? Colder air is moving in. So we do have partly cloudy skies this afternoon and evening. As we head overnight, we'll clear a lot of that out, and then we'll start with some cloud coverage in the morning. Tonight, though, we'll start to see those clearer skies, 9 or 10 p.m. Temperatures dropping into the 30s this evening, much cooler by the morning. Temperatures will start for your Saturday in the 20s, and then we're only climbing into the low 40s. I'll have the full weekend forecast coming up.
We'll see you soon. Thanks, Alyssa. Hiring Hoosiers is WRTV's initiative to connect you to jobs. Recently, Pattern was awarded $50,000 from the United Way Social Innovation Fund. And with that money, it plans to host a certified training program with Stitchworks. The training curriculum will fulfill a need for workers in the industrial sewing industry, which has proven vital during this pandemic. They want to emphasize their recruitment to poverty-vulnerable individuals, recent immigrants, and recent high school graduates. The executive director of Pattern plans to hire some of the trainees.
We would like to employ some of these people ourselves, just because as a production facility, we're being contacted on a regular basis by a variety of different companies, from companies that make bed sheets to ironing board covers to, solopreneurs who want to launch a collection or like make hoodies and everything in between.
The training program will be open to applicants next month. They're also looking for monetary donations and industrial sewing machines. Their goal is to help 200 Hoosiers find jobs in the next 5 years. The NBA has released the first half of the schedule for the upcoming season. The Pacers will open at home, but Bankers Life Fieldhouse will be empty. Game 1 will be December 23rd against the New York Knicks. The team says there will be no public ticket sales to start the season, but the press release says, quote, "We are looking forward to welcoming fans back in January," end quote. Details on those plans will be announced in the weeks ahead. The Pacers have their first preseason game next weekend. Healthcare workers have been a driving force in this fight against the pandemic, and today one of those heroes got a big surprise based on the testimony of a close friend.
One story was how Rachel arranged with the hospital chaplain to help FaceTime her patient's daughter, who's in a different hospital, also with COVID. Her patient was on a ventilator and her situation failing. However, Rachel made it so her daughter was able to say goodbye and see her one last time. Rachel stayed with that patient as she passed, so she would not be alone. Heroes do not allow themselves to be limited. They transcend borders and boundaries through innovation. Rachel is a hero with a heart.
Well, that's part of the nomination video submitted by Eric Griffin to Tom Roush Mazda about his friend, ER nurse Rachel Elliott. Those words helped put Rachel in the driver's seat of a free Mazda MX-5 Miata. We were there in Westfield when she received the car as part of the Mazda's Honoring Heroes contest. It honors people who have gone above and beyond to provide care during the pandemic.
When I found out, I was in so much shock. I thought this would never happen to me. And I felt very honored that not only did my best friend nominate me, but also honored because I don't do this work alone. I do it with an amazing team of nurses and doctors and respiratory therapists every day. So it's kind of an honor to them as well to have won this amazing prize. Something I wouldn't have ever expected.
Well, the Honoring Heroes contest is part of Mazda's 100th anniversary. Rachel is one of 50 people across the country to receive a free car, and congratulations to Rachel there. The future of movie premieres in theaters could be changing following an announcement by a major studio. Coming up here on WRTV, industry experts weigh in on what impact this will have on the future of the movie business and if it will be possible to ever go back to the way it was before the pandemic. The Republican Party is fighting to hold its razor-thin majority in the Senate with two all-important runoff races in Georgia coming up next month. They can afford to lose one seat, but losing both would mean losing control of the chamber to the Democrats, and that would create an easier path for President-elect Joe Biden to execute his agenda and confirm his cabinet. But with President Trump amplifying his unproven claims that his re-election loss was part of a rigged election, many in GOP circles are concerned his words are sowing seeds of doubt among Republican voters in Georgia, driving down turnout and handing Democrats victory. Some top Trump supporters are urging his supporters to stay home and not vote unless the legislature overturns the election. But critics say it's that sort of radical action that gives fuel to the baseless conspiracies about voter fraud, creating doubts about America's election integrity, and leading to threats of violence against election workers.
It has to stop. This is elections. This is the backbone of democracy, and all of you who have not said a damn word are complicit in this.
Georgia is on everyone's mind with the Senate at stake. Today, Vice President Mike Pence is there campaigning for the upcoming runoff, while former President Barack Obama appears at a virtual rally with his party's Senate candidates. Trump will rally in person in Georgia tomorrow. Warner Brothers says its entire slate of films next year will be released on HBO Max the same day they arrive in theaters. The surprising move is a sign of the times as the pandemic continues to keep audiences out of cinemas. More now from ABC's Marcy Gonzalez.
And everything will be different.
An unprecedented decision by Warner Brothers announcing all 17 of its films for 2021 will be released on Warner's HBO Max streaming service at the same time those movies hit theaters.
But the what now?
The first will be Wonder Woman 1984, which comes out on Christmas Day, followed by the rest of the studio's 2021 films, including Dune and In the Heights.
The streets were made of music.
All available on the streaming service for 30 days following their release for no extra charge for subscribers. Warner Brothers calling it a strategic response to the impact of the ongoing global pandemic and a win-win for moviegoers who aren't able or ready to go back to theaters and for exhibitors. But some movie theater companies are not happy with this plan. AMC's CEO issuing a blistering statement saying while they agreed to an exception for Wonder Woman, vaccines are right around the corner, and the company will aggressively pursue economic terms that preserve our business. The move seen as a game changer.
This announcement is going to change how every other studio releases their movies. There's no doubt about it.
ABC's parent company Disney has already announced films like Pixar's Soul will premiere on its streaming service Disney Plus on Christmas.
Yes! Woohoo!
And now this decision from Warner Brothers taking the streaming wars to a new level.
If this goes on for a year, it's going to be really hard to put that genie back in the bottle.
But Warner Brothers says this is just a one-year plan, adding no one wants to see films back on the big screen more than they do. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Facebook just announced it will begin removing false claims about coronavirus vaccines. The company says the move is an extension of its coronavirus misinformation policy. Facebook will remove any false information about the safety, ingredients, or side effects of the vaccines. It will also remove conspiracy theories that have been debunked by public health experts. Facebook said rollout of the enforcement will happen gradually.
Well, we are in store for a chilly evening. We had a pretty nice day today. Those temperatures were just a little bit above average. Right now, we're at 43 degrees in Indianapolis. Winds were a little breezy this afternoon as well. They're starting to die down out of the west, about 10 miles per hour. And you can see behind me that we do have a little bit of cloud coverage over that sunset that's happening right now. And that's due to this disturbance that's just to the south of us. This low pressure system creeped past Indiana today, and it stayed far enough south that we didn't see any of that precipitation, but it did bring us a little bit of cloud coverage. We're going to continue to see those clouds as we head into the evening hours, but overnight we're going to start to see those clear out, and that's really just in time for a cold front from the north. That's going to pass through as well. What that's going to do is bring us some chilly air, and with those clear skies overnight, that means we're really going to feel that chill by tomorrow morning. Temperatures will be dropping quite a bit. We'll be in the 20s to start your Saturday morning, creeping up into the 30s by the noon hour. Now, the good news with tomorrow is we are going to see some sunshine. So as we head through the weekend, high pressure is going to take control on Saturday and into Sunday, taking our temperatures into the 40s. So it is going to be dry and cool compared to what we were today, but we are going to see some of that sunshine on Saturday. Another disturbance will move through late Sunday. Small chance of some flurries in there, but for the most part, it's just going to bring us some cloud coverage. And looking ahead to the rest of the week, we're going to continue to see those temperatures climbing slowly. Tonight, if you do have any evening plans, we're going to see those temperatures in the 40s through about 8 p.m. Those really cold temperatures really don't kick in until after midnight. Looking ahead through that 7-day forecast, this weekend going to be a little cool out there. Monday, 39 degrees for our high, so we're sticking with those cooler temperatures, just barely scraping into the 40s to start our work week. And then as we head into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, that's when we have a bit of a warming trend on tap. We'll continue that climb into the 40s, mid-40s by midweek, and then we are close to 50 degrees by Friday. Expected to hit 50 as we head towards the weekend. So we do have some nice weather on the way. We just have to get through the next couple days as we do have some cooler and drier air in the forecast. And we want to let you know that the 20th annual WRTV Toy Drive is underway, and we need your help to continue making it a success. One group that is especially close to those of us here at WRTV is Urban Act Academy right here in Indianapolis. For many years now, WRTV has volunteered at various events from book drives and holiday parties, all to help put a little joy and encourage the love of learning in the school's students.
I'm BRENICE Armstrong, the principal at Urban Act Academy. We are a school that serves about 350 high-need, underserved students in Indianapolis. Urban Act Academy is an acronym. It stands for Us Reaching, Benefiting, Aiding, and Nurturing a Community Together. And so we really believe in cultivating not only the community within our school, but the one around us as well. So some of the services that we offer to our families, many of whom are in some of the shelters that are in the downtown area, about a third of our students actually are experiencing some sort of housing insecurity. We provide things like legal services, mental health services. We have a school-based pantry that operates twice a month. So not only families in our school, but anyone in our neighboring community can come and get the resources that they need. Specifically, we've had a family this year who has 4 students in our school this year. When COVID hit, for example, that family was actually on lockdown in their shelter for a number of days and had a lot of challenges even getting what they needed to access school. The students weren't able to come in or out, and it was really difficult for that family to access school. The mom was not working at the time. And so one of the things that we're able to do when we find out about those things is to directly provide more services or more intense services. So we can get meals delivered to and from the students. We can provide and make sure that they have the technology that they need to access school. We can drop off and pick up work because our staff are really great in meeting our families where they're at. And when those students do return to school, we make sure to love on them, make sure that they have the mental health services, and we can check in with that family on an ongoing basis to provide anything else that they will need to help out. This holiday season, we plan on servicing all of our families here at Urban Act, whether that is meals and dry goods and canned goods for the holidays or through books or toys. We simply do that because we know our families have expansive need. Due to COVID, a lot of our families have been out of work, have lost their work, have experiencing housing loss or insecurity. And so not only do they have a need for food, things like shoes and clothing, but sometimes when families have spent their last on those things, they don't have enough for things like school supplies, books, or even toys that would just make their child happy. On behalf of all of the families and staff here at Urban Act, I'd like to thank WRTV for all of the support and the partnership in providing toys and resources for our families that will really make a difference this holiday season.
And on Saturday, we'll be outside 4 local Simon malls to collect your toys and cash donations. Come see us at the Fashion Mall, Castleton Square, Hamilton Town Center, and Greenwood Park Mall. We're also accepting toys at local youth store locations. For all the information you need to know, just go to WRTV.com/toy drive.
Okay, first, we have to tell you, don't try this at home. Coming up here, a driver thought he found a fix for his headlight problem, but his creativity put him on a crash course to a jail cell. Experimental brain implants in monkeys are offering hope for restoring vision in blind people. Researchers from the Netherlands developed implants containing more than 1,000 electrodes. They implanted them in the visual cortex in 2 monkeys. Electrical signals were used to create dots of light that created the illusion of shapes and objects the monkeys could perceive. The researchers believe such technology could one day be used to simulate sight in blind people who were able to see at some point in their lives. The lead researcher says the dots could even be used to create letters of the alphabet. He hopes the technology will be ready for human trials by the year 2023. A driver in Washington State decided to get creative when he lost his headlights. A state patrol trooper noticed extremely dim lights driving on the highway. Upon closer inspection, the officer realized that the headlights on the car had been replaced by flashlights with failing batteries. Needless to say, that is not legal. It appeared that the front of the car had serious damage and the factory original headlights had either fallen or broken off. In addition to driving without proper lights, the man was driving with a suspended license. Double whammy there. Monday marks 79 years since the attack on Pearl Harbor. Tonight, our special conversation with a local World War II veteran, the harrowing experiences he had in the war, and the message delivered by legendary actor Jimmy Stewart when the cameras weren't rolling. That's all new at 6 p.m. With thousands of concerts canceled, why are so many ticket holders still struggling to get refunds? Next at 5:30, we hear from 2 frustrated concert goers and have suggestions for other fans.